The 1920s weren't just about jazz and flappers. It was a decade where one corporate giant decided to bet everything on a marketing strategy so complex, it was almost designed to fail. Welcome to another chapter of automotive history. Today, we re-pulling back the curtain on General Motors' Companion Make program, a bewildering attempt to launch 4 new car brands all at once. The Roaring Twenties promised endless prosperity. The Great War was a memory, and a new consumer class was emerging with money to spend. In this booming economy, the automobile transformed from a luxury for the elite into a must-have for the average family. 2 titans, Ford and General Motors, fought for dominance, but with completely different philosophies. Ford believed in one perfect car for every person, the legendary, affordable Model T. General Motors, however, had a different vision. Their president, the brilliant Alfred P. Sloan, dreamed of a ladder of success. He wanted a car for every budget and every social rung, hoping customers would start at the bottom and climb their way up within the GM family. His first masterstroke was planned obsolescence. Why? Make a car that lasts forever when you can convince people they need a new one every year? Suddenly, cars became fashion items. Your neighbor's shiny new model made yours look outdated. It was psychological warfare on wheels. Sloan's second big idea was that latter. He reorganized GM's existing brands into a clear hierarchy. At the bottom, you had Chevrolet for the everyman, then Oldsmobile, then Oakland, then Buick, and at the very top, the pinnacle of luxury, Cadillac. But there was a problem. The gaps between these rungs were too wide. How do you get a Chevrolet owner to eventually buy a Buick when the price jump is massive? Sloan's risky solution? We don't need fewer brands, ... We need more. And so the Companion Make program was born. GM decided to launch 4 new junior brands, slotting them in between the established names. The logic was these wouldn't be full brands, but rather tempting previews, a way to sample a more premium lifestyle before committing. This wasn't just ambitious. It was a marketing minefield. Launching one new car brand is hard enough. GM was attempting 4, all at the same time. The stage was set for one of the most chaotic chapters in business history. Let's meet the players. First out of the gate was Pontiac in 1926, the cheaper, sportier sibling to Oakland. While Chevis mostly had 4-cylinder engines, Pontiac came out swinging with a 6-cylinder. Marketed as the chief of the sixes, it was positioned as the performance option for the savvy buyer. Next was LaSalle in 1927, the junior Cadillac. This was the pet project of a young designer named Harley Earl. He crafted the LaSalle to be smaller, more elegant, and stylish, the perfect car for the lady of the house, while the man drove the hulking Cadillac. It was a designer handbag on wheels. Then things got weird. In 1929, Oldsmobile introduced the Viking. But instead of being a cheaper alternative, the Viking was a more expensive flagship luxury sedan. It was a bold move upmarket, and it came with a secret weapon, a modern V8 engine. That's right, Viking beat Ford's famous flathead V8 to market by 3 years, a fact often lost to history. The last companion, also launched in 1929, was the Marquette, intended as a budget-friendly Buick. Not much is remembered about the Marquette, other than its unique herringbone grille and a nickname it probably didn't want, the Pregnant Buick. It was a solid car, but its timing couldn't have been worse. Because in October of 1929, the stock market crashed. The party was over. The Great Depression began. Imagine launching 4 new brands and then watching the economy collapse. GM was now supporting 9 different brands in a world where nobody was buying cars. Something had to give. So which of these companions survived? Let's climb the ladder one last time. At the bottom, Chevrolet, of course, survived and became an icon. Pontiac, the sporty one, did the unthinkable. It outsold its parent brand, Oakland. Oakland was discontinued and Pontiac lived on for decades, eventually becoming a muscle car legend before its own demise in 2010. The Marquette, Buick's budget brand, was a tragedy. Launched in 1929, it was dead by 1930. It sold a respectable number of cars, but was killed for fear it was cannibalizing Buick's own sales. The Viking Oldsmobile's luxury play suffered a similar fate, selling in tiny numbers before being axed. What about Buick and Cadillac? They endured. Buick solidified its place as the car for quiet professionals, while Cadillac remained the king of flamboyant luxury and the beautiful LaSalle. It actually survived the Depression, becoming a surprise success and nearly outselling Cadillac. It was eventually retired in 1940, not by failure, but because Buick and Cadillac moved closer together, squeezing it out of existence. In the end, ambition met reality. So, was the program a failure? It's a mixed bag. The Great Depression was the final blow, but the strategy itself was incredibly fragile. Having 9 brands meant they were often competing with each other, confusing customers and straining dealers. There was one clear victory. By the end of the 1920s, GM finally surpassed Ford in market share. But it's a classic tale of corporate hubris. History has a funny way of repeating itself. It seems whenever a car company gets overambitious, building too many brands or gas-guzzling behemoths, an economic crisis is lurking just around the corner. It makes you wonder, when you see a company taking a huge, complicated gamble, should you hold on or get out of the way? If you enjoyed this dive into corporate drama on 4 wheels, show the channel some love. Give this video a like, and make sure to subscribe to Winds of Thought for more untold stories.